Lobo and I'm back with my Thoughtful Thursdays. If you've been following me and what I've been talking about, I've been saying this is the season to be jolly. And I know it is the time of Christmas. And maybe we're not feeling up to, the whole exuberant feeling that one feels at Christmas because maybe we're not going out, maybe we're not meeting our friends, maybe we're not seeing Christmas trees and things being lit up. And the funny thing happened that every time I plan a Thoughtful Thursday, this entire year has been like that. Something happens, a conversation, and I have to then change my Thoughtful Thursday. And that's exactly what happened today, because while I was going to office and reminiscing about the Christmas tree celebrations and the potluck lunches that we used to have in office, and so much fun, and last time how Michelle and Samuel and Sujita, the little core committee who had planned that. And as I reached office, normally I meet Michelle. And when I opened office, the door, I saw Santosh, I suppose, putting up the Christmas star, and that really made me happy. And as I opened the door, I saw Samuel, and I said, Samuel, what a surprise! And I was just thinking about you in the car, and you won't believe it. The electrifying conversation for the lasted for about 20 minutes, and we discussed a range of things, and there was laughter. We discussed about his baby, and we discussed about Christmas trees and where does one buy Christmas tree, and I said I want my Christmas tree back, it has to go back home this time, and so on and so forth. But what I liked that Samuel said, and that happened on my way back at the end of the day, when I said, Samuel, I was so thrilled to meet you today. And he said, I was so overjoyed that I waited and I wanted to see both you and Michelle. And it just tells us that the greatest thing that we're missing this time is the social connections. And it might not be something that we'll be able to do, but I love the small surprise that Samuel had, which brought the Christmas cheer and joy to my face. But how do we do that? We're not going to be able to do that. So can we create those events and memories? And I think I want to go old school on this. I would say check in on people. I think we checked in on people a lot more, when COVID and we thought things were happening. But I think we've gone back to our old ways. We've all got busy. Some of us are really, really getting exhausted, bogged down with work. But what happened with Samuel and today's conversations, I realized that possibly I need to check in on a few people. I need to call them up. Either I call them up, or I realize that it's also simpler sometimes to do the WhatsApp voice message. And there is a psychological thought behind when somebody listens to a voice, they almost can sense the feeling. And people always know what you're going through. And I did exactly that. In fact, it was niggling on my mind that I couldn't talk to this friend. And I just picked up the phone and started chatting with him. And we realized that there's so much that has happened in the year 2020. We're all a bit exhausted. We're all feeling a bit stretched. But in that moment, I thought there was empathy, compassion, we checking on each other, wanting to make sure that we were doing okay. And in that moment, we said we want to meet each other. We should fix a date. Why are we not meeting each other? And we did fix a date. And the second thing that we did, when the person shared something that was happening, and I said, you don't have to tell me. I know. I could feel it. I could sense it. And my friends, this is the time to make those meaningful conversations. This is the time to make those meaningful connections. I'm sure our calendar is not all that filled up. In fact, at the end of the day, after all the Zoom calls where we call Zoom fatigue, in fact, I'm saying I want to zoom out. In fact, another psychologist said, after all these Zoom meetings, you feel like you want to put the backpack down. That's the time you pick up your friend. Pick up from your phone whoever you want to talk to. Go old school. Check in on them. And I bet you will forget all your worries. And that's exactly what happened today when I met Samuel. I felt electrified. I felt charged. To the extent that he also made me think and change my Thoughtful Thursday. And I think that's the best moment. To keep up with the Christmas cheer and to keep up with the Christmas spirit. So happy holidays. And of course, I'm going to make my Thoughtful Thursdays next Thursday and the day after. But till then, have fun.